Good evening, and welcome to Creative Broadcasting, the station of unlimited possibilities. Presents Creating Your Seat at the Table with your host, Ashley Little, as she welcomes her guest to the table.
Welcome to Creating Your Seat at the Table. I am your host, Ashley Little. A little bit about me: corporate professional by day, entrepreneur by night, two-time best-selling author, host of Authors on the Rise, co-founder of Sweetheart Scholars Nonprofit, owner and creator of Creative Broadcasting, and co-founder and owner of Talk Radio and TV Network LLP, and vice president of sales and marketing for Melanie People magazine. Today we have a special guest by the name of Beanie Randall. A little bit about him. Beanie Randall Jr. started out in the music business as a dancer, hype man, and rapper. During this time, he regularly toured the country, entertaining hundreds of crowds. Not feeling quite complete, he moved to Brooklyn, New York in 1994 with only $500 in his pocket. Times were certainly hard, renting a room in an attic, and at one point having to sleep in his car, but he never gave up. After losing his sister, two brothers, firstborn child, and father, Bennie slowly realized that all of the challenges he faced held some sort of lesson and knew the reason he was put on this earth was bigger than himself. As he began to share his story with others, the motivator was born. After the success of his first book, The Motivation Factor, the speaker with the golden voice proclaimed renowned speaker Les Brown gained the opportunity to speak in front of small organizations and Fortune 500 companies alike. Bennie felt he had found his life's purpose to help people discover the greatness within themselves. His two best-selling audiobooks, The Inner Power to Create Your World and The Powerful Mind, went on to generate $2 million in sales. I am on a mission to inspire 1 billion people before I leave this earth, Bennie says. Over the last 20 years, Bennie has coached thousands of entrepreneurs around the world and continues to build his own empire of digital companies and investments in real estate. A new movie is being filmed about his life and journey in the personal development industry. There's so much more I want to accomplish in life. In fact, the way I look at it, I'm just getting started, says Bennie. Welcome, Bennie. How are you today?
You know I'm blessed and highly favored. Thank you so much. Who was that guy you just introduced, though? He's awesome. I'm just joking.
Yeah, you are. You are amazing. You are amazing, and I am so honored. I am so honored to be able to interview you today.
I'm humbled. Thank you for allowing me on your show.
Thank you. So would you please tell us a little bit more about your entrepreneur journey? I know I read some of it in your bio, but could you kind of walk us through the awesome Beanie Randall?
I am a serial entrepreneur, and I focus on two things. I focus on investments, real estate, and serving others. So I guess that would be three things. And what I've learned is that a lot of people know how to make money, but a lot of people don't know how to make money grow. And you got to remember, even the average person who will make $50,000 per year over the next 20 years, they will make $1 million, but they won't keep $1 million. And they won't even be able to see that $1 million because as much is taken away. So it's not about how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. And I think what a lot of entrepreneurs are forgetting and not learning how to do, and that is make investments in whatever it is you do. Because you remember, it's all good to have a great salary, but remember, if I pay you $100,000 as an employee, how much you think I'm making? I have to make at least 3 or 4 times that to validate why I hired you, correct?
Absolutely.
So, right. So why can't you be that individual? Yes, everybody's not meant to be that CEO or whatever, but you are the CEO of your life. So unless you start running your life like the business or running your life to make it grow, then your life will start running you.
Yes. Amazing. So I know a couple of different things that you said, pretty much everything that you said, with some great takeaways. But you said, people know how to make money, but a lot of people don't know how to make money grow. So would you please share with the listening audience a little bit more some strategies on how to, make money grow? Because we all know how to make it, but what are some strategies that can help our listeners, learn how to make it grow and be able to keep it?
Well, if I keep it in its simplest form, it would be basically think about your house. Let me ask you this question: is your house an investment or a liability?
It's an investment.
Okay, that is incorrect. Your house is a liability until you pay it off. Okay, because your house takes money from you on a regular basis, correct? And let's just think about this.
Right.
If your house, whether you're on a 15-year plan or you're on a 30-year plan, what if you pay the first 13 years perfectly, you never miss a payment, but then you miss payments on the 14th year? Do you get to keep the house?
No, you would not.
Exactly.
No, you would not. You're
Why?
right.
Why? Because you don't own it. It's still a liability until you get to that 15 year and you get to that very last payment. See, that's why people are getting misconstrued. They were thinking, okay, I'm getting equity. Yeah, you're building up equity over a period of time. But until your name is on that house and you don't have no liens, the bank or whoever gave you money to do it, it is a liability. You understand? Now, how do you turn
Yes.
that house, that same house, into an investment? You get a house that has multiple dwellings in it. So instead of buying a single family home, you would buy a townhouse that has 2 floors, or a brownstone like we have in New York that has 3 to 4 floors, right? And then you will put people in those other floors so they can pay your mortgage for you while you maintain your money. See, that's an investment. You still have a house, but now you've just turned it into an investment. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I love that. And I want listeners to know, definitely, I hope you're taking note, to know the difference between an investment and a liability. That was an awesome example, Benny. Awesome example. And thank you for that. I noticed you're on this awesome tour, and it's titled Dominating with Your Gift. So please tell us about this awesome tour, Benny, and what are the states that you're traveling to this year
Oh
for the
man,
tour?
we're doing about 20 different cities, and I think the most important part of this tour, that I was able to start this tour off in Fort Lauderdale, where at the high school that I went to, and I got to talk to the kids because see, I didn't finish high school. I dropped out of high school. I didn't finish. I went on the road and as my bio said, became a dancer, whatever. And then when I got to New York, it turned into something totally big. And one thing I gotta say, the blessings is you may think you're the black sheep, but really you're the diamond. Because I think about all that I've went through, I was able to turn nothing into something. When I came to New York, I had $500 in a dream. You know what I mean? And now, well, I'm not going to even say where I'm at now. Let's just say I'm way past 7. All right. All right. But here's why the tour was created. Everybody has a gift. I have the gift of voice. Okay. So I've learned to use my gift. What I've learned a long time ago is that find what your gift is and then find somebody to pay you for it. The problem is most people don't use their gift. They leave it under the Christmas tree. They walk past it. They know they have it, but they do everything else except use their gift. I know a young lady who has an extraordinary voice, meaning like if she put her attention on her singing voice, oh my goodness, she would make gazillions of money. But she doesn't focus on that because she's such a reality person that she can't see past her present state. So therefore that gift never gets used. And like they say, what good is a gift if you never unwrap it? It's just a thing then. So what I'm doing when I go around from these cities is I want to encourage people how to use their gift. Knowing I have the gift of the voice is why I go around and I speak. It's why I do audiobooks. It's why I do narrations. It's why I do anything that allows me to use my gift. People are always trying, and this is what amazes me, Ashley. People are always trying to get better at something they're okay at instead of dominating in what their gift is. Let me say that again. People spend so much time trying to get better at what they're okay at instead of dominating with their gift. That's what this whole tour is about.
I love that. We spend so much time trying to get better at what we're okay with than dominating our gift. I love that. I love it. And some other things that you also said, being that stood out, is that we should find what our gift is and find someone to pay for it. I love that. And what are some things you would give to our listeners who are stuck and they're trying to find out what their gifts are? They're stuck in between. They're doing a lot of different things, but they really haven't tapped into it. What would you tell our listening audience that are in that position right now?
Stop. Look in the mirror and talk to yourself, because you're the only person in your way of you and your gift. See, some people got the gift of writing. Some people have the gift of running. Some people have the gift for dancing. Whatever that gift may be, but only you know what that gift is. And I often tell people, your gift is the thing that you can do that you don't have to go to school for, that you don't have to go learn from it, that it's just a natural thing that you can do. Like with my voice wasn't always this deep. It's just literally I woke up in the morning and thought I had a cold. You know what I mean? But it was that time for it to happen. Like, even if you hear my very first record, I sound like Mickey Mouse. You know what I mean? Because my voice had not gotten to the maturity level it's supposed to. So I know it was a gift. This would have been cool if I had this voice and I was an 11-year-old. I probably had some girlfriends then. But I didn't have that, during that time. So, but what the point I'm making is this. People don't pay attention to what God has given them. They too busy paying attention to what everybody else is telling them they need to pay attention to. And that's where most people mess up at. That's where the problem begins, because the more you listen to other people who don't have they may be not trying to be mean or whatever, they just don't know. But one thing I know, Ashley, is when God gives you a gift, he has communicated that with you. And a lot of times, most people are not going to understand your gift. People tell me I'm crazy. Why I'm not on a 900 line or something like that or whatever, because that's not who I am. You understand?
Right.
So your gift starts with you. Most people are in the way of their gift. And I'm sure whatever you do, or there's something in your life that you do so naturally, and people are always complimenting you on when you're not even looking for a compliment. Is that correct?
It is. You're correct.
So, Miss Ashley, if I ask you right now, put you on the spot, what is your gift?
Networking and connecting people. I'm a connector. People tell me that all the time. I've always talked about when, Ashley, she's a natural. She doesn't meet a stranger. I just naturally connect with people and build those relationships. There's nothing to do that for me.
You know how many ways and how much money you can make in having that natural ability, because there's so many introverts out there. You can make a freaking killing. It's just the point of have you applied yourself to maximize your gift. And that's what I'm saying to you, and I say to everybody else that's listening and hear this voice, is that you have a gift. You got to find out what it is, and then you find out how somebody will pay you for it. Because trust me, people say I charge this and I charge that, but I know people that are getting, Rush Limbaugh is getting $20 million for talking trash on the microphone. You understand what I'm saying? There's rappers I can't even understand getting millions of dollars for rhyming on the microphone. So you got to find out what it is your thing is, and be the best, and you got to dominate with your gift.
I love it. And please support Benny on his tour when he comes to you all city, because this tour is definitely needed, and finding our gift is important. It's important for our success. It's important for us to get to the next level. And one more thing I want to say, Benny, that you said, that stood out to me, to let us know this is a prime example that it does not matter how you start. It matters how you finish. You went from a dropout of high school to a millionaire. You see? It does not matter how you start. It's all about how you finish. And I just love that. You're truly an inspiration. I just want to commend you for all the successes you had and just the success that you're going to do. And I wish your tour is the best. And I'm sure it's going to be great in every city that you touch down at.
Thank you so much.
Yes. So, Benny, after the success of your first book, The Motivation Factor, The Speaker with the Golden Voice, proclaimed renowned speaker Les Brown, you gained the opportunity to speak in front of small organizations and Fortune 500 companies. So please tell listeners more about this awesome accomplishment, because this is pretty amazing.
You know, like we were just talking earlier about your gift. When you have a gift, you got to expose your gift. So if my gift was the ability to be a communicator, then I had to make sure I had opportunities to communicate. So I would go to places, first and foremost, I would pay for access. And people say, well, what is that? It means whoever was the best speaker out there that I connected with, I would pay to go to their events. And when I go, it wasn't to pass out cards. What I wanted to know is how they're doing this. Why so many people showed up. You know, how many people was in the seats? You know, who greeted me when I first came in? What type of materials are they giving out? You know, why did these people pay their hard-earned money to come in here? See, that was my school, you know, being there. Because, see, people try to learn from people who are not doing what they're doing. You can be an expert golfer, but if I want to learn how to fix cars, even though you're an expert golfer, you can't really help me in fixing cars. And that's what happens. People get caught up on the name and the fame of people when the people is not in alignment with what they want to do. You know what I mean? You know, you got to learn, you know, I always tell people there's a relationship and then there's a right relationship. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Right. You know, every relationship is not meant for you. It don't mean it's a bad relationship. It just means it's not meant for you. You understand? But the right relationships will propel you forward. The right relationship will put you in a position of power. The right relationship can make a phone call and you be at Oprah's house tomorrow or Tyler Perry's house. That's the right relationship. Versus the left relationship can become a distraction. It's just like, you know, everybody, you know, has went through, but, you know, whether you're married or you're single, whatever, you've had relationships prior to that. See, and until you got married, all those other relationships was left relationships because they became a distraction because they didn't work out, but you did learn something. I believe in every blessing there's a lesson, and every lesson there's a blessing. So, you know, what it comes down to, okay, that was a left relationship. So instead of, oh, I lost something, the question should be, what did I learn? What did I learn in that experience? But a right relationship can give you an experience. The right relationship could put you in a situation where you'd be like, whoa. I remember my first time getting on a private airplane, you know, is because of my coach, who's a billionaire, and his friend was going to somewhere, and my coach invited me along. He was like, hey, you want to go with us to so-and-so? And I was like, absolutely. So I'm thinking that, you know, we're going to get some tickets and stuff like that. You know what I mean? We got in the car. We rode all the way up to the plane. I was like, stop this. You know what I mean? And I was trying to act like, you know, I did this before. I know I ain't did this before. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is it was access. That was the right relationship, because the right relationship got me on that private plane, you know, to to fly private. I was like, whoa, this is a whole nother level. And here's
Whole nother level.
and here's the beauty, Ashley. Once you experience another level, it's very hard to go back to the other ones. You know what I mean? You want to find a
Yes.
way to maintain this experience. And the problem is most people never get that experience, so they don't know what's possible. Most people don't know what it is to buy a building because they're so busy trying to buy a house. You see what I'm
That was
saying?
good.
Most people
Yes.
don't know what it
Yes.
is to fly private because they too busy trying to get a cheap seat on Southwest Airlines. You see what I'm saying? Most
Yes.
people don't know what it is to have a super duper, luxury car because they're too busy trying to get a dollar pass on the bus. It's all about the experience. The experience gives you exposure, and exposure gives you experience. You hear what I said now? The experience gives you exposure, and exposure gives you experience.
I love it. Exposure gets you experience. I love that. Experience gives you exposure, and exposure gets you experience. Listeners, please write that down. Bennie is dropping a lot of gems today. You said a couple things, Bennie, that I just want you to go back to. And it's just about, people go to different functions and they want to go to pass out their business cards. But they should be going to ask, to ask how did that person do that? How did this person sell out that event, to find out what that person is doing. So I just love the mentality that you just, filled with the listening audience, giving us a new look on when we're going to these events where we should be going and investing in people that are where we want to be and connecting with the right people and the right relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So I just love that.
Because think about this, Ashley. How many events have you went to? And be honest right now. How many events have you went to and got 50, 60 business cards? Did you call every one of those people?
I did not.
Exactly.
I did not.
No, most people will not. Anybody say they do, they're probably lying. You know what I mean? But
Right.
no, most people will not. See, the key is not networking. The key is working your net. Okay.
Working your net.
Okay, and what does that mean? That means learning what your industry does and how it works and how can you fit into that situation. See, you don't go to get people's numbers, you go to study the system, and along the way you will meet the right people also, because you got to have that exposure. But most people waste all their time just trying to tell them, most conversations happen just like this. Hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. So what do you do? Well, I do this. I got 1,800 jobs and whatever. And I'm a lawyer. I'm a truck driver. I'm a cab driver. And I got 1,800 pairs of shoes. And I'm a pastor on the weekends. Right. And then when it comes to the other person, it say, okay, so what do you make your living on? Oh, I'm a truck driver. All right, so you got like 1,800 jobs, and it's none of them actually make the money that your truck driving do. See, the key is not to have a whole bunch of jobs, titles, and all that stuff. None of that stuff matters if it's not making money. Okay, if it's not making revenue, what's the value? You understand what I'm saying? Because you can't help nobody if you're starving. You see what I'm saying? And most people, honestly, fail to get the revenue they want for this thing called anonymity. Don't nobody know you. And don't nobody know you in your industry. You ain't got to be a celebrity, but people have to know what it is you do and how you do it. And you will attract the right people to you if you know what your industry requires. People too busy trying to look fly. It's okay to look fly once you got paper. You know what I mean? But while you're trying to get that paper, man, you need to connect. You need to create revenue. You know what I mean? Get one good thing first that creates revenue outside of your job, because you can keep your job and slowly build, but you can't have like 50 side things before one of them. Now, once you build one where it operates on itself, then you can dabble in another one, let that operate on itself, and it continue to do like this. These are the things I talk about in my private community. We have more than 47,000 subscribers at BennieOnDemand.com. I'm gonna throw that little plug in there, BENNIE ondemand.com. And this community is where I get up and close and personal with people, because I believe you got to pay for access. I probably paid more than $1 million of access, just going to events. I remember paying about $12,000 to go to a 3-day event, but the reason why I want to do that, because I want to find out how this person did it. I want to find out what did they do to make myself pay $12,000 for a 3-day event. But I tell you, that experience of that allowed me to create my own events just like that. Because had I not spent that money, guess what would have happened? I wouldn't have had the experience to know what makes it worth it. And it's something about getting behind the wall on the other side. I tell people, they'll be like, oh, I'm going to this event, but I'm not paying VIP. I don't have to be that close. I can be in the back. But there's a difference when you're VIP versus when you're just in the building, because they're going to give you access somewhere else. You see what I'm saying? So it's because I went to that $12,000 event. Now I can put on events that are more than that. Our next event is going to be in April in Dubai. Called the Millionaire Retreat. You see what I'm saying? And we're like 90% sold out. But it was because I paid for access. Too many people, they'll pay for everything. They'll pay for their hair to get done. They'll pay for their nails. They'll pay for that flat car. They'll pay to lease the car. They'll pay for a house they really can't afford. They'll pay for parties. They'll go and buy the bar out. And at the end of the day, the bar don't pay you back. You see what I'm saying? But they won't pay for access, for the experience and the access of it. That's where a lot of people lose. Because, Ashley, think about this. How in the world are you going to get somebody to pay you $5,000? You ain't never paid nobody $5,000. You don't have that experience to know what that requires. You just throw a number out the air and say, I'm going to hope I get somebody. And then when you don't get nobody, you say, this don't work. It's not that it don't work. You don't work. Bam. Let me stop before I start preaching up in here. Go ahead.
Well, you have preached. I mean, everything that you said, but I just want to hit some key things that you said. You can't help nobody if you are starving. Again, you cannot help nobody if you are starving. So please make sure that, like he stated, creating the revenue and focusing on that one thing and building from there, building that first to create your revenue, and then go to something else. So, Bennie, everything that you said it's just been awesome. And I love when you said study the system. We have to study the system and make sure that we're working our net. That is important.
Absolutely. Think about the company you work for. Whatever that company is. Do you think they not know how much it takes to keep you there? Of course they do. They know every penny, and when it gets and when that value goes below what they're paying,
there you go.
Just like that. They'll hey, come in my office, let me talk to you for a second. I don't care how long you've been here, but when that value decreases, where that revenue doesn't allow them to have you, they're not going to go first. You're going first. You see what I'm saying? And that's where people get stuck that, people over here, this just bugs me out. People over here, I can't wait till we get somebody in the White House that can do me some good. Let me tell you something. I don't care who in the White House. If you broke when they're in the White House, you're going to be broke when they get out the White House. Okay? I don't care what color is in there. Yeah, they're going to do some things, but let me tell you something. If you were struggling before, you're going to be struggling when they get in there, and you're going to be struggling when they get out, because they don't pay for your house. You see what I'm saying? People worried about taxes. Let's think about, everybody has this problem about the tax code. Okay? This is what I find amazing. But if you know the tax code works better for a business, why don't you have a business? You see what I'm saying? No, I want to get my money. I want to get my money at the end of the year. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's a woke moment, as they would say. if you get $2 back on your taxes, that means you paid over $2. People think it's some benefit when you get your taxes back. No, it just means you simply overpaid. The perfect tax refund is zero. You owe them zero, and they owe you zero. That means you kept the amount of money you should have kept, and they kept the amount of money they want to get. So what they do, this is what I mean by understanding the difference between a liability and an investment. The government is so smart. Do you know, probably before we were born, actually, that at one time you didn't have to pay. The taxes were done on an honor system. So, but what they found out is that people wasn't honoring it. So then it was like, instead of us getting our money after you get your money, then we're going to get our money before. There you go. You call withdrawal holdings. Why? Because we don't trust that you're going to give us our money. So we want to get our money right now. And then you can do what you want to do. You see what I'm saying? So people don't understand that the government, they takes their money, they put your money in a nice big fund, and that nice big fund gains a lot of interest, and then at the end of the year they give you the money back you overpaid in the first place. Somebody preach. I don't think they hear me in here. Somebody get that thing. I don't think they hear me in this church.
Yeah,
It's your money. I'm gonna hold your money. I'm going to get interest off it, and then I'm going to give you your money back, what you should have had in the first place. Well, if that's what y'all want to do, you can go to BenieRandall.com and give me your money, and I'll hold it to the end of the year and give it back to you at the end of the year. How about that?
Love it, love it, love it. The perfect refund, listeners, is zero. Please, I hope everybody writes that down. The perfect refund is zero. Being that was just awesome by itself. So, Bennie, over the last 20 years, you've coached thousands of entrepreneurs around the world and continue to build your own empire of digital companies and investments in real estate. Can you please share with listeners about your coaching program, your target audience, and how they can purchase your services?
Everything you want to know about me is at two places. You can go to BenieRandall.com to learn about all the different coaching packages we have, and everything is customized, so you're not going to see no prices on there. If you're interested, you can reach out to us. You know, I hate when people put a price on like everybody fits this shoe. You know what I mean? Everybody don't fit that shoe. You don't know what that person's situation is until you actually have a conversation with that person. You know, or you can join our private community at BennieOnDemand.com, where you get all my lectures and presentations and behind the scenes. There's even a point over there where, you know, once you remember that, you know, you can ask a question to me and I'll respond back to you behind it. That alone is worth what you pay for the year. The investment you make, you know, like I say, pay for access. Most people too cheap. They want, you know, they think TV is access. You know what I mean? But you know, you got to understand what television is. Television is you are watching other people live their dreams. I don't think they heard me, Ashley. Every time you turn on the television, you're watching other people live their dreams. Unless you're watching the news and you're watching them live their horrors. You see what I'm saying? But for that person to be on that television, that was their dream. For that person to be hosting that show, that was their dream. There is no program on there that doesn't entertain you, because that's the dream of that network. You understand? So, yeah, Bennie on Demand allows you to, behind it, there's a lot of stuff I don't put out in open forum, because I believe like this. People say, well, you know, you should give. I do give. Trust me, I give. But let me ask you something. Did you go to college, Ashley?
Yes, I did.
All right. Were you able to go in class without paying?
No, I was not.
Okay.
You have to pay first.
Exactly. and listen to what you said now. You have to pay first. Whether you learn or not, you have to pay first.
Whether you learn or not.
Right? Otherwise, if you do not pay, they don't let you go in that classroom, right?
Right. Absolutely.
That because, see, people forget, you know, and I'm not saying anything about college, but college is in the business of education, not the education business. See, there's a difference.
Love it.
the business of education. They're in the business of teaching you for a price. So why do you have a problem outside of learning exactly the difference with having a powerful coach or advisor is that you can study exactly what you want to study, and you don't have to go through curriculums that have nothing to do with what you will learn. What does you know what let's just say physical education, what does that have to do with me when I'm trying to be a computer engineer? I'm just trying to understand. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Or what does
Right.
this curriculum class have to do over here with me being a speaker? See, because see, in a lot of times schools they teach you how to be a great an employee and get a great job. They don't teach you how to be an employer and create jobs. See, that's why the ones who create jobs make all the money, because they're doing a service. Because the reason why the tax code actually is works in the benefit of businesses, because the way the government looks at it is like this: every person that you hire, you create a new taxpayer for us. So that's why Warren Buffett's secretary pay more in taxes than he does, and he's the billionaire, because he created a new taxpayer for them, and that they find value in that versus somebody that's just taking all the money and keep it for themselves. See, when you're working for yourself, I mean, not working for yourself, but when you're at a job and you're single and you ain't got no kids, you pay the highest tax rate. You notice that? And then when you have a few kids, it goes down a little bit, but you're still paying a lot. It's only when you become a business, a corporation, that it begins to benefit you. Make sense? So
It makes a lot of sense.
most people get
Yeah.
caught up in this. They don't understand revenue. You know, they get caught up in all this social media things and, you know, all of these gurus and whatever. But these people are not making the type of money you want to make. So why are you even paying attention to them? You know what I mean? I don't care how many likes you get. I don't care how many emojis you get. I don't care how many comments you get, Ashley. I want you to take those comments, emojis, and likes, and I want you to take them to Chase Bank and cash them in and tell me what you get.
You have to pay for access. A lot of people don't want to pay for access. Like you said, we're too cheap. We don't want to invest in getting to that next level. We want to get to the next level. We want to win, but we don't want to work, right? And we don't want to pay to get to that level.
But the only
So I
person
think a
you
lot of us
cheating
have
is
to-
yourself. That's it, because
Yes.
you either going to learn one way or the other. You're either going to learn from your ignorance or you're going to learn from your bliss. It's up to you. I rather learn from my bliss than my ignorance, because see, I had to learn a lot of stuff like that until I got the funds, where even when I didn't have the funds, I was taking out money to go to people's events just so I can study it. You know what I mean? There was one event I went to. I paid $25,000 for 4 days with this person. You know what I mean? And I was trying to manifest, why did I do that? Okay? But here's what I learned, Ashley. There was only 20 people at this event. But what I learned is what made these other 19 people, including myself, which was 20, pay $25,000 to be with this guy. And see, those are the secrets people not going to just tell you freely. Those are the secrets that you kind of have to be there to experience. You understand? So you have to understand what motivates somebody to pay $25,000 for this, or you know what motivates somebody to pay $100,000 for a watch, or what motivates somebody to pay $20 million for a home. You understand? And the only way you can do that is through experience. That's what people don't understand. It's through experience.
I love it. I love it. And one more thing before we go on is that when you're watching TV, you're watching other people live their dreams. I love that. I mean, I love that, because that is so true. And not only that, but college is a business of education, but not the education business. And I think a lot of us get that confused too. And that is so true, Bennie. That is so true. That is so true.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I would like for you, because I know it's a lot of coaches and mentors out here. Everybody's a coach. Everybody's a mentor. But it's important that we find the right person to mentor and coach us, because they should be where we're trying to get. So what are some strategies you would give to listeners who are trying to figure out trying to determine who they should hire or invest in to be their coach. So that's
Very,
important.
very, very simple, Ashley. Are they doing what you want to do? It is just that simple. Are they doing what you want to do, and are they doing it full time? If they doing what you want to do, but they doing it part time while they go to their job at the gas station, that's probably not the person you need to be. Ain't nothing wrong with that. They still on the come up. But if they're doing what you want to do and they're doing it full time, and you connect with their message, it's easy to know if you connect with their message. All you got to do is listen. All you got to do is find some videos. Any successful person will have some videos of them speaking somewhere, somehow. You see what I'm saying? What conversations are they having? So it is very simple. It's very not. If they're not doing full time exactly what you want to do, you might be better than them. That's all I'm saying. So, and like I told you, there ain't nothing wrong with people having a job or whatever because they're on the come up. So that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying, if they're not making full-time money doing exactly what you want to do, and if you don't connect with them, they're probably not the person you need to be dealing with.
I love that.
Very simple.
I love that. And that's something I want every listener to take. Make sure that when you're looking to invest in the culture, they're doing what you want to do full time. Because there's a lot of people, like you stated, that are doing things part time. And you might be doing better than them. And that's a true statement. Because I think a lot of us, when we're deciding on who the coach is, we get so caught in, like you stated, the fame and the social media likes and everything. But we got to look at the facts and the numbers and the data as well.
I tell people, you ain't got to like me. But if we go to bank, you going to cry. You know what I mean? It's just that simple. I got away from the numbers a long time ago. In fact, if you go to my personal Facebook, you'll see my numbers decreasing because it's like, you can go to my public profile and, you'll see 10,000 people over there. But on my personal, you probably see 500 or less because what I've understand is this. Facebook is a business too. And those 5,000 people don't even see you, whether you know it or not. Not unless you start to pay Facebook some money. They got this thing called an algorithm, and that distinguishes what people are going to see and how it's going to see based on the parameters that they say. So their goal as a business, and the platform is a business because they sell your eyes and your ears and your attention. They can't make the most money from you if they give you everything for free. You know what I mean? So they give you the illusion of everything for free. You understand? There's a difference right there. There's an illusion of everything for free. But that algorithm, I can tell you some things that it will blow your mind, but I'm not going to do it because that's paid access. You know what I mean? What you will figure out that, wow, this is why this person does this, or this is why this person does this, because you got to understand what you're dealing with, especially when you're on someone else's platform. Remember, their platform is made for them to create revenue. They're not creating revenue, giving you everything for free. So don't get it twisted when you see Instagram for free and whatever. No. If they couldn't sell your eyes, your ears, and your attention, they would not be here. It is just that simple.
Love it. So you've done all these great things, Bennie, and you definitely have a story, and it's an awesome, amazing story. So what did failure teach you?
What did what? I'm sorry?
What did failure teach you?
Failure is one step away from success. Failure is the greatest teacher because if you don't fail, you don't know how you did it. You don't know what you did wrong. You have to fail. It's just like in a relationship. Every time you went through a bad relationship, in hindsight, you went back to see what did you do wrong in that relationship that you're going to try to do different in the next one, right?
Right.
Well, that's what failure does. Every time, think about as many no's as Colonel Sanders got. He was 65 years old. He didn't have any money. He got his first Social Security check, which was $99. He was like, I can't live on this. So he said, what do I have to sell? I have a chicken recipe that everybody seems to like. That's why you don't see no young pictures of Colonel Sanders. You know what I mean? Because he was like 65 years old at that time. So what ended up happening is he went around trying to sell this chicken recipe. He got 1,009 no's before he got a yes. And that yes became KFC. How many people are going to do that many no's? You could tell people 5 no's and they throw it in the garbage. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you never know what it is and how it's going down, but you would never understand the what it means for you to fail, because failure is not really failure. Failure is a lesson. That's what it is. It's saying that you did something wrong and you need to correct it. And once you correct it, then you will see the benefits of your lesson. That's why I say in every lesson, there's a blessing. In every blessing, there's a lesson. That's it. Point blank.
And I believe that it is a lesson. It's not failure. It is a lesson. A lot of us we don't want to fail. We want to be perfect. But I don't want to be around anybody that hasn't failed. And I don't know one successful person that has not failed, right? It's part of the process. And I think a lot of people are sitting on their dreams because they're scared to fail. They're scared if it doesn't work out. Then when it doesn't work out, they stay there. They don't know how to come up from that. But that's a part of the process. And a lot of people haven't embraced the process of being uncomfortable. But it's necessary.
My coach once told me, he said that if it doesn't scare you, it's not big enough.
Right.
It's really not. So that's why when I bought my first home, it was not a single family. It was a duplex. Because I say, I'm not going to pay for this house. I need somebody else to pay for it because I need my money to do some other things. And that's what I did. I bought a townhouse. It had 3 bedrooms upstairs, full kitchen and everything. And downstairs it had 2 bedrooms, full kitchen and everything, and a parking space. I moved some people downstairs and charged the rent that would equal my mortgage. So therefore I kept my mortgage. You understand what I'm saying? That's what you call an investment. Now, years later, I own all the properties thanks for the kindness of some beautiful and adorable people who rent. I love you guys. I really do.
Love it. So we know that failure is a lesson. So what did success teach you? Because, we know that you dust yourself off, you kept going. It was part of the process. But what did success teach you? Success
taught me what freedom feels like. Success allows me to help those people I really want to help. So, and I help in private. I don't have to put it all out. You see what I'm saying? But success gave me the most important thing that most people are lacking in their life, and that's freedom. See, when you work at a job, what has to happen? You have to get up when they tell you to be there, right? You have to leave when they tell you to be there. And I'm not knocking any jobs or whatever. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just giving you an overview. They set your life. They tell you how long you have to work before you get a vacation. They tell you what you can and cannot do. And if you violate those policies, we will let you go. Wow. So you mean to tell me you spent $200,000 in college so you can get a $70,000 job, be in debt paying your student loans back for somebody to tell you what to do for the rest of your life? Child, please, not me.
I love that. It taught you what freedom feels like. I mean, that just stood out by itself. So for the listeners who don't really caught that, Bennie, could you expand on strategies for them to go towards to get to freedom? To get from that job, what do they need to do?
First, find out what you want to do. You know what I find so funny, Ashley? People will spend years doing the opposite of what they really wanted to do. You know what I mean? I'm reminded of this comedian. I can't think of his name right now, but he's an Asian guy, and he spent all of his life becoming a doctor just so he can really do what he wanted to do, and that's become a comedian. He was in the movie The Hangover. But what he taught himself is that he only became a doctor because his parents was like, unless you're a doctor or lawyer, you're nothing. So you're growing up in that environment. He did it all for them. But at the end of the day, once he started to do it for himself, he realized what really made him happy: being in the movie, acting like a drunk, and having fun and telling jokes. That was his life. And that could have been his life much earlier had he discovered it then. So what I'm saying is, most people are doing everything they shouldn't be doing. They're totally, if you got this awesome voice, you know what I mean? And I talk about that because do anything that allows you to expose your voice. That's what I do. If you have this awesome ability to write, you should at least put out 3 or 4 books a year. Not 1, 3 or 4. You know what I mean? Dominate in what you do. Most people don't get started because they don't get started. There's no secret formula. Most people don't get started because they do not get started. You got to take the first step. You got to take the first step.
So find out what you want to do. Dominate. That's important. Dominate in what you want to do. And the most of all, just get started. Those are 3 takeaways that I want everybody to write down, especially the ones who are stuck and are still sleeping on their dreams today, because you control your destiny. So, Bennie, it was amazing. It has been amazing talking to you. You have gave us some awesome gems, some definitely wisdom and knowledge for everybody that's listening today. So would you please tell the listening audience how they can follow and contact you? I know you stated it before, but would you please state it again so they would know how to reach out to you to get the services or just to get some assistance if they need to get to the next level?
Any assistance you need as far as becoming your business advisor, coach, or however you want to label it, you can go to BennieRandall.com. That's BENNIE Randall, RANDALL.com. If you want to taste the water, as they say, if you want to sample, go to BennieOnDemand.com. That's BENNIE ondemand.com for our private community. There you can find, books, my audio books and things like that. They're in there for free. You pay your membership and you become a part of that community. And it also gives you a little access to ask a business question from time to time. That's the benefits of membership. But Ashley, one thing I want to leave you with here is this. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no competition. If you notice me, I don't care about being on everybody's flyer. I don't care. There's so many people on flyers and they're not getting paid. That means nothing to me. You see what I'm saying? I'm about building your business so that you can help give other people opportunities and you can serve you and your family. Get out of this thing about competition. There is no competition because there's only one you. There is nobody else that can speak like I speak. You understand? There's no one. I got the sexiest voice in inspiration there is. I don't care what nobody say. That's what I claim it. They call me the Barry White of inspiration. Show you right. You know what I mean? So my point is, but I own it. That's my thing. That's my zizzle, as they say. You know what I mean? So get out of this competition. Yes. Oh, look what he's doing. I got to do it better. Or oh, look what they doing out there. Oh, I don't like him because I don't like the way he talk, or I don't like the way he walk. Let me tell you something. I don't care what nobody think about. Most people know that you either gonna love me or you not. It's just that simple. Because I'm an eagle, and eagles fly alone. It's just that simple. The difference is pigeons. They fight for food on the ground. I ain't got time to be on the ground. You see what I'm saying? We got tons of pigeons. Everybody following what the next man doing because they want to do this. And, oh, he stand out. He's not really good. Oh, he's not in my religion, or he's not faithful, or he's not Christian, or he's not this or that. I don't care about none of that stuff, man. You know what I mean? We either gonna roll if I can't build with you, I'm not chilling with you. All right? It's just that simple. If I can't build with you, I'm not chilling with you. It is just that simple. And that's nothing about you. That's nothing about me. It just means my time is very, very valuable. And I would hope your time is very, very valuable. And if I can't build something, if we can't grow, we can't flow. It is just that simple. I'm just too sexy for this. I'm sorry.
I love that. I have to repeat this again, listeners. If I can't build with you, then I'm not chilling with you. Please, if you take nothing else away with that, please take that away from this whole interview. And also that there is no competition. I mean, Bennie, you have spoken a whole message by itself. There is no competition. And we as eagles, if you are an eagle, you fly alone. And I think a lot of people are so stuck on being with the crowd, right? They want to do everything the crowd does. But what has the crowd done for you, right? Are you at where you want to be with the crowd? So in most of the moments, most successful people have walked by themselves. They've walked alone.
Point blank. It's just that simple. Read the bios. You'll see how much time they've spent alone, either them or their very immediate family. Most successful people are eagles. They're not pigeons. When I see a pigeon and I see a whole lot of people around him, I know eventually one of those pigeons going to get him because you're playing them close.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But to get me, guess what? You got to fly like I fly. You got to know where I'm going to be. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's just that simple. And I forgot to say audiobooklab.com. That's AUDIOBOOK lab, LAB.com, where you can get some of my audio books and things. But most importantly, if you really want to know how I get down, if you want to see some of the presentations I've done, if you want to keep in access with me, go to BennieOnDemand.com and join us over there. Hopefully before the next few months we will have 50,000 subscribers, which we're building to. So we're moving on there. We're actually moving on to that level. So, or if you really need an advisor that's gonna kick you in the butt, because you can ask any people that I've coached that I don't play. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna piss you off. I'm gonna piss you off, but I'm gonna make you sure you got progress. You know what I mean? Because we ain't got time for this. Your money is hard that you earned, and you're here to earn and learn. You know what I mean? And then make it happen for others. You know what I mean? But if you don't get nothing else from this, don't be afraid to pay for access, because either you're gonna pay today or you're gonna pay tomorrow. And don't wait till your job tell you they don't want you no more. Then you're trying to figure out how you're gonna eat. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because it used to be back in the days, Ashley, where the older you became in a company, the more valuable you are. Now it's not. Now it's like the older you've been in the company, you're probably at the highest pay point. So we could probably get 3 young kids for your salary. You know what I mean? So don't get caught up in that predicament, or don't wait till a government shut you down. You see what I'm saying? Let me say that again. Don't wait till a government shutdown shut you down. You know what I mean? When you got when you got the resident up in the White House and he ain't got no clue, because it don't affect them. You see what I'm saying? They got insurance, because when you're in Congress, you get free insurance anyway. They're paid. And if you notice, that whole entire 35 days, they still got paid.
Right.
That should tell you something. That should tell you something, right? You got to know it's time. This is what I say, and I want to leave you with this, Ashley. Don't hate the player. Don't hate the game. Learn the rules so you can play.
Learn the rules so you can play. Don't hate the player. Don't hate the game. Learn the rules so you can play. That is awesome by itself. And one more thing that I have to repeat that you stated. Don't wait till a government shutdown shut you down. All of us need to remember that with everything that we do, right? We're trying to get to that next level. Bennie, it has been amazing today to even interview you. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule, your tour, you're on the road, and you still made time to let me interview you. And I'm so thankful. I'm humble, and I'm honored. And I would like to say thank you again.
And I am honored to be on your show. And ladies and gentlemen, I just want y'all to know Ashley lied to me. She said it was going to be 30 minutes. It's an hour. I just want y'all to know that she lied to me. Okay?
But what I will say to the listeners that are listening, I shot my shot. I tell everybody, shoot your shot. Bennie was either going to tell me no, or he was going to tell me yes. And if he would have told me no, I would have kept going to the next person, but I would have came back again. It's called persistence. And a lot of people sleep on their dreams, and they're scared because they're not shooting their shot. Shoot your shot. You don't have one chance to do that. You have one life to live, so shoot your shot.
There it is. And we know because my engineer has his clock in front of my face and it says 59 minutes and 20 seconds. So we on point because I was going to give you the 60 minutes and then we out. So.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, listeners, you may follow me on Facebook at Ashley Little and on Instagram at _Ashley A. Little. We'll be back here again with another show. So, talk to you later.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you, Bennie.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Creating Your Seat at the Table, where Ashley speaks with corporate professionals, celebrities, entrepreneurs, authors, and speakers who are transitioning or have transitioned to entrepreneurship.